The series flips over here to an American Airlines Center that is packed to the rooftops here in Dallas. It's basically what feels like an elimination game for the Dallas Stars, trying to avoid going down 3-0 in this Western Conference final. And they're back in front of their hometown fans. Sit back and enjoy this one as we are underway. Barbashev feeds Mark Stone on the initial turn. Now Hanif into the inside. And it's disrupted by Dallas back through center ice. Matt Duchene will bring it up. Drops it off in the trailer, and a block out in front never got through. Hanifin takes it away in the Dallas end, and they clear. Offside early on Jack Eichel and the Golden Knights. 2-0 series lead for Vegas coming into play today. Dallas looking to get a huge game here at home to avoid going down 3-0. Which is basically series over in the NHL. Centering pass picked off by Hutton, and Vegas gets it back out. Here's Jack Eichel, a shot on net, first of the game, swatted away by Ottinger. Down below the net, Barbashev. Back out to the point and all the way through, and all the way down it goes. Back on it is Hutton here for the Golden Knights. Barbashev poked to the far side, a turnover. Duchene, knocked down, rebound, score! Mikko Rantanen on the doorstep. Matt Duchene gets credit for the goal, and the Stars are off and running here at home. Let's take a look. You had Duchene and Rantanen right there. It goes off of a Golden Knights stick and into the net. Past Schmidt for the early goal to give Dallas the lead. It went off the stick of Hanifin down low. And an early 1-0 lead for the Stars. 1 minute and 20 seconds in. Matt Duchene with the strike. And a good start here at home for Dallas, down 2-0 in the series. Here's Mitch Marner. Hurdle now, top of the slot, sends it into the crease. And it's picked up by Rupe Hintz. Petrovic now feeds it in deep around the boards. First guy to it is Korczak here for Vegas. And it goes all the way back down for what should be an icing call. There's the whistle for it. Just about 2 minutes gone by. And a 1-0 lead for Dallas. They score on their first shot on goal of this game. Harley squares it up again. That one gets deflected just wide. Vegas gains control out through center. Mitch Marner will walk it in. To the left hash. Marner stops on the brakes and a blocker save by Ottinger. Rupe Hintz will exit here for the Stars. Hintz fires a shot wide of the net. Might have gotten a stick out in front. Robertson keeps it alive, pinned to the corner. 2 shots on goal for either side. 1-0 lead for the Stars here at home. Luzon feeds Hurdle out of the zone now for Vegas. Stizins to Dorofeyev, a shot knocked down by Ottinger. And Lyubushkin is there for the rebound. Here's Faksa through center, flips it ahead. Crowd is loud and into it here early at American Airlines Center. Game 3 here from Dallas, a 2-0 lead for the Golden Knights in the Western Conference Final. Bach loses control and it floats back to the trapezoid. Kolasar feeds Korczak up ahead. Trying to cut inside, good stick by Lundqvist. Here's Lyubushkin. Earn tried to feed it in, good stick from behind by Kolasar. Near side, offside, Mark Stone. Just over 4 minutes gone by, an early 1-0 lead here for the Stars, looking to get a game in this series. 2-0 lead for Vegas, won their first 2 at home. Now Dallas looking to get the home win. Howden forks wide by Ottinger, goes to the far corner. Body's flying as it goes in back behind the net. Heiskanen kicks it to the far half wall. Get there is Sam Steele. And Ernie Bob. Now Holtz brings it into the zone. Good stick by Lindell now. Here's Rakoian. Picked off on the inside. Heiskanen does a good job defensively to keep it alive. 5 minutes gone by in a 1-0 game. Here's Rakowian. Fires a shot off a body in front. Never got through, and here's Holtz. Back through center ice. Looking for the center. Holtz works it in down low for Howden. Howden out in front. Goes off of Ottinger, and it goes out wide. To the point, and Hannafin lets it fly. Tipped off a body, and the rebound kept out by Ottinger. And Rakowian clears the zone now. Centering to Bork, a shot, glove down by Schmidt. And we get a stoppage. 14-12 to go. A lot of action on both ends of the ice here early in this game. Faceoff goes out to Petrovic, who tried to send it in. Good stick. Here's Hutton. Hutton poked on his way in, goes in deep. Matt Duchesne is there. Into the boards by Cole Reinhardt. Reinhardt gets knocked down. Sissons gains control. Taken away by Rantanen on the left hash. And Johnston will bring it out. Mikko Rantanen into the zone. Drops it off to no man's land. Johnston fires. Saves Schmidt. No further play. Vegas works it in their own end. They trail 1-0 here early in game 3. Here's Barbashev into the zone. Hannafin now circles in. Right point, Eichel. Inside Stone, a shot off the shoulder of Ottinger. Dallas gains control. Good stick by Stone. Eichel couldn't get it off. Ottinger kept it alive for Labushkin, and it comes back out. Fed in deep to the Vegas end. Race for the puck controlled by Hannafin. Vegas works it out, Mark Stone. Near side Barbashev. Back to Stone as they play catch. This one goes off a skate. Lundqvist takes a crunch, but keeps it alive out to center. Big hit in the center, and a power play is the result. Ivan Barbashev is going to get called for interference, it looks like, on this hit right here. Dude has turned and laid out right in the middle of the ice, and an early power play here for Dallas. Hintz will face off against Sissons. Vegas wins the draw. Luzone flips it down the length of the ice. Goes all the way around the boards. First power play of the night for Dallas. They've been killed in the first 2 games with penalties, but they get one to go their way this time. And now another penalty's called, and Dallas all of a sudden is going to go to a 5-on-3. A hold is called along the boards. Discussing it on the Vegas bench. Dallas, who was killed in games 1 and 2 and the penalties, just could not stay out of the penalty box, are gifted 2 stacked on top of each other here in a 5-on-3 for the Stars. Eichel wins the draw for Vegas. Luzone flips it out to neutral ice. 5-on-3 in favor of Dallas. A big chance to add on to their early lead. Big hit. Duchesne works it in. Denied, and the rebound out wide. Duchesne circles back. One-timer off a body. Steele now down low. Bach on the point with a bobble. To the other side, and Harley. Inside, Bork whiffed. Still loose in the slot. Comes out wide. Luzone jumps on it, and Vegas clears. Vegas up ahead, short-handed with Eichel. Here's Korczak on the trailer, up his skate. Short-handed on the 5-on-3 for Vegas. Korczak denied by Ottinger, and Dallas gets out. 2-on-2 back the other way. Duchesne cuts in. Poked on his way in, good defense. Duchesne keeps it alive. Here's Bach. On the wing, it's Harley out in front. Bork denied by Schmidt. Bork hits the deck, 30 seconds to go on the 5-on-3. Big hit by Luzone after Bork let it go. 42 hits now in the playoffs for Jeremy Luzone. 8 shots on goal for Vegas, 6 for Dallas. Vegas controls a turnover and a block out in front as Roope Hintz tried to turn and fire. Vegas can't get it out. Mitch Marner is on it. Megna now will send it down the length of the ice. Hard ricochet to Johnston. Final seconds wind down on the 5-on-3. Here's Hintz. Off his skate, turned it over, and it comes back out to center. So now 17 seconds to go on a normal power play. Here's Robertson. Looking for a center out in front. Rantanen on the other side with a bobbled punt controlled by Vegas, and they clear. And they kill off both penalties. Golden Knights back to full strength. They survived the 5-on-3 from Dallas. We're over halfway through the period. Robertson into the zone, cut off on his way in. Megna now feeds Sissons back to Megna. Outside Marner cuts in. Good stick out in front, and Sam Steele tried to flip it out, but he can't. Kept in at the line by Megna. Circles the boards down low for Johnston. And a battle for it in the corner. Dallas gains control. Just about 9 minutes to go in the opening period and a 1-0 Dallas lead. Here's Barbashev back the other way. Heiskanen takes it off his stick. Near side Ernie takes a hit. Good defense by Holtz. Hurdle back in for Vegas. Sends it in. Forked away by Ottinger. Down low Holtz. Out in front of Whiff. Heiskanen wins the race for the puck along the far half wall. And it floats back out of the zone. Megna backtracks. Holtz with a bobble. Turns it over. Hurdle back in. Fires a shot. Ottinger says no. Megna back out to White Cloud. Looking for a place to go downstairs, and Ottinger closes the door and stops play. Back out to the point. White Cloud holds it at the line and turns it over. Good hit outside by Rakowiak. Here he is with the puck. Poked away to the near side by White Cloud. Battle for it into the corner. Kicked along the near half wall. Lundqvist. Inside Lyubushkin can't handle. And Dorofeev jumps on it. Here come the Knights. Survives a hit. Near side Holtz fires a shot. Ottinger had to close the door there. Nearly got through. Comes back out. Here's Rakowiak. Waits for his friends, drops it up for Steele, a shot off a body, and stays in play. Rakowiak circles back in, and a short-sighted attempt off the shoulder of Schmidt in down low. Ernie pestered down low, circles back to the point in Lundqvist off a stick. Good defense by Howden. Vegas will clear. Here's Mark Stone. Inside White Cloud, back to Stone down the doorstep. Good stick. Howden can't handle. Bobbled puck controlled by Dallas and kept in by Hannafin. A bobble by Hurdle. Howden over skates. Bodies flying everywhere as it goes in down behind the Dallas net. And the Stars can't get it out. Howden. Good stick by Rantanen, who takes it away. And now the Stars will exit. Matt Duchesne dangles to the outside. Keeps his footing. Back behind for Bork. Out in front, Harley. In down low again. Harley off the side of the cage, and Schmidt finds the puck. Faceoff goes towards the Golden Knights. They'll get it out through center. Here's Kolesar. Just over 5 to play in the opening period. Kolesar in on Ottinger, who makes the save. 5:02 to go in the period. 1-0 Dallas. They're getting outshot. The Stars are 12-8 in shots on goal in favor of the Golden Knights. Faceoff goes back out to the point. Luzone sends it in. Ottinger got a piece of it. Kicked in down low. Harley there for the Stars. Foxa will walk it out. Feed it in deep. Allows for a change. 4.5 to go opening period. Game 3 of the Western Conference Final. 1-0 Stars. They scored on their very first shot on goal. Korczak takes it away in center here for the Golden Knights. Here's Colton Sissons, works it in down low, back behind. Sends it to the far side in Reinhart. Blue zone on the point, pestered by Petrovic. Bork rather is there. Blue zone turns it over. Bork out to center, and the Stars turn back. Here's Foxa, pestered on his way in. Sissons jumps on it. Up ahead, Kolosov fires a shot, and Ottinger makes the glove save. Hutton out to the point, and Hanifin lets it fly off the blocker of Ottinger. Stone takes a hit by Lindell. Comes to the near side. Dallas gains control, and they'll clear. Robertson cross ice to Bork. Bork sends it around the boards. Hutton meets the puck behind the net, and he comes back out to Mark Stone. Stone works in, cuts inside. Lindell there defensively. Robertson exits with Rupe Hintz. Bork now into the zone, flips it ahead again. Under 2.5 to go, opening period. Hintz flips it in. Hanifin gets there first for the Golden Knights. And Vegas will exit. Here's Mark Stone again. The captain tried to feed Barbashev, who's tangled up at the red line. Keeps it alive, though. 2 minutes left in the period. Hutton takes a hit now. Big hit behind the play again. Dorofeyev with the intercept. He walks it into the zone for Vegas. Off a body it goes. And Rantanen gains control. Here's Colin Blackwell. Blackwell flips it in deep again. Under 90 seconds to go. Here's a turnover. Blackwell gloved down by Schmidt. My goodness. Dorofeyev will walk it up. Just over a minute left in the period. Hurdle right down the lane off a skate. Good defense by Dallas. Duchesne turns back as we're under a minute now to go in this opening period here in Game 3 from Dallas. Dorofeyev centers to Marner. Off a skate it goes. And a bobbled puck in the slot controlled by the Stars. 40 seconds to go in the period. Lundqvist walks it ahead. Floats it in on Schmidt, who kicks it down. And Whitecloud turns back. Up ahead to Megna. Waits for his friends. Megna to the point, and Whitecloud, a fired shot denied by Ottinger. Blackwell circles back. 10 seconds to go, and he flips it ahead. Whitecloud will outskate as the final seconds tick down in an opening period. Very fast-paced and a 1-0 lead for the Dallas Stars. After one here in Game 3, they scored on their very first shot on goal of the game, and they held the 1-0 lead through the rest of the period. It is the start of the second period here in American Airlines Center from Dallas. The 2-0 lead in the series for the Golden Knights, but a 1-0 lead here in Game 3 for the Stars as they look to get a game back here in this Western Conference Final. Matt Duchesne with the intercept, and here come the Stars. Duchesne brings it in one. Out in front, Rantanen knocked down and saved by Schmidt. And an early push there for the Stars to start the second. $16 shots on goal for the Knights, 11 for Dallas. Here's Jack Eichel, will walk it up. Outskates one, drops it off no man's land. Dallas gains control. Here's Johnston up ahead, flips it ahead in deep. Met in the trapezoid by the captain, Mark Stone. Stone takes a shoulder, nearly turned it over, but gets it out. Here's Hanifin. Ran into his own guy, that was Eichel. And Rantanen brings it up. Outside Duchesne. Works it towards the left hash. Good stick by Hutton. And Barbashev will bring it up and out. Barbashev flips it around the boards. Only guy there is Lindell. Dallas gets it out to center and Robertson. Just over a minute and a half gone by here in the second. Johnston tried to square his body. Good stick by Hurdle. And here come the Knights. Good cutoff by Heiskanen. Transition defense by Dallas has been good in this game. Vegas keeps it alive. Korczak downstairs for Howden. He got leveled, and Dallas will bring it out. Robertson dangles on his way in. Centers and fires off his skate, and deflected just wide. Mark Stone, the captain, brings it up the near boards. He takes a shoulder but keeps it alive, at least briefly. Robertson turns back here for the Stars. Mark Stone to the near side and Howden. Howden flips it ahead. First guy to it is Harley. Dallas works it in their own end. We played just about 3 minutes here in the second. Still a 1-0 lead for the Stars. Bork's shot sticked aside by Schmidt. To the far half wall. Bork tried to fire it again. He whiffed, and it comes out of the zone. Floats back to the Dallas end. 16 shots on goal now for the Knights. 12 for Dallas, but a 1-0 lead for the Stars. Here's Hintz, a shot wide of the net. Rebound sits on the goal line, controlled by Korczak. And the Knights will get it out. Intercepted by Lyubushkin. Bach will circle back in here for Dallas. Avoids a hit, cuts inside, never got it off. And Vegas gains control back out to center. Korczak poked on his way in. Good defense by Dallas once again in transition. Cross ice to Steele. Steele to the left hash, inside, and a save by Schmidt. Down below the goal line, Luzon and Buck. Out in front, a save, Schmidt. On the shot by Sam Steele. Face-off goes to Vegas. Kolasar got knocked down. Cole Reinhardt will walk it into the zone. Waits for his friends. Reinhardt pestered by Lyubushkin. Back out to the point, and Whitecloud sends it in. And Ottinger finds the puck. Dallas controls the face-off. We played 5 minutes here in the second. Still a 1-0 Dallas lead. Blackwell inside Fox off his own player. Bach now has shot off the blocker of Schmidt. Bach down low, a wraparound score! Oscar Bach puts it in, and it's 2-0. Stars on top here in the second. Just sneaks it past Schmidt, who was hugging that right post, and it deflects in between his legs. Schmidt couldn't stop it, and it's 2-0 Dallas. Exactly what the doctor ordered for the Stars in this series. They're off to a 2-0 lead. Oscar Bach gets the goal, and it's 2-0 Stars. Right back in with Foxa, a shot off the blocker of Schmidt. Whitecloud can't handle. Foxa works in, and he scores! Back-to-back goals for the Dallas Stars, and Radek Foxa makes it 3-0. Maybe it's just something about the home teams. The crowd alive and well here in Dallas, similar to what they were in games 1 and 2 in Vegas. And the Stars go out to a 3-0 lead here in game number 3. Back-to-back goals within just a few seconds of each other for the Stars. And they extend their lead on the 5th goal of the postseason for Radek Foxa. Mitch Marner turns back here for Vegas, loses it to Petrovic. Dallas now leads shot on goal as well, 18-17 in this game. and a 3-0 score. White Cloud wins the race for the puck. Pestered by Blackwell, who's intercepted by Megna. Inside Marner, outside Dorofeev. Puts the brakes, here's Hurdle off a body. Might have been friendly fire out in front. Dorofeev to Marner, swatted away by Ottinger. Dorofeev keeps it alive for the Knights. Works it back out wide, a one-timer, kicked out by Ottinger, and Harley is there defensively. And Dallas survives that turn. Here's Hintz. Works it in down low, out in front, Petrovic can't handle. Good defense by the Knights. And Tomas Hurdle takes ahead. Up ahead, Dorofeev. Inside Marner, couldn't get a clean shot off. Rupe Hintz was there for the Stars. Here's Lindell. Brings it in wide, centering pass, Lundqvist. A shot in the air, tipped in! Niles Lundqvist deflects it off of Schmidt, and it just floats in behind him for a 4-0 Dallas lead. My goodness. Off the glove and just straight up in the air. And it just slowly fell into the net behind Schmidt. That is unbelievable. And yeah, there's the look right there from the Vegas bench. Dallas with 3 quick goals all of a sudden here in the second. And that one went off the glove of Schmidt, went straight up in the air, and we're going to get a goaltender change. So Hart will come in to try to stop the bleeding for the Golden Knights here in Game 3. It's a 4-0 game. Dallas has taken control. Duchesne right back up here for the Stars, leading 4-0. Duchesne in back behind, out to the wing now. Heiskanen over skates. Keeps it alive though. Heiskanen out in front. Duchesne flips it in on Hart, who makes the stop. 12:17 left in the second period, and already now a 4-0 lead for Dallas. 3 quick goals here in the second period. Faceoff goes back behind the net. Luzon is there for the Golden Knights. Jack Eichel takes a shoulder. Johnston can't keep it in though. We played 8 minutes in the second. Already 3 goals in the period for the Stars. Here's Stone, a shot. Sticked aside by Ottinger. Rantanen there for Dallas as they work it in their own end. And out to Sam Steele. Lindell knocked down by Mark Stone. And the captain will bring it up here for Vegas. Stone dangles, taken away by Lindell and center. Sam Steele brings it up the far board, centers to Heiskanen, who feeds Colin Blackwell now up ahead. Blackwell tried to split defenders. Luzon, good stick. 20 shots on goal for either side, but a 4-0 lead for Dallas. Eichel to Stone, the captain, a shot, smothered by Ottinger. Dallas wins the draw on their own side. Ernie will bring it up through center ice as we approach the halfway point of the second period. 4-0 Dallas. What up, Charlie? Hannafin will walk it up here for the Knights. Sends it in on Ottinger, forks it wide. Kolasar pinned to the boards by Rakowian. Sissons there for Vegas. Lundqvist there for Dallas. Goes to the far side and Labushkin. Sam Steele will walk it through center. And Sissons takes it off his stick. And now it floats back deep into the Vegas end. Here's Rakowian. Tried to change direction. Good defense by Hutton. And it comes back out to center. Here's Sissons. Drops it off for Kolasar. Squares it up and denied by Ottinger. What up, Jeffrey? Carolina looks unbeatable right now. Faceoff goes back behind the Dallas net. Rupe Hintz sends it all the way down. Nobody touched it, so it should be an icing call. 9:18 to go in the period. 4-0 Dallas. 3 quick goals in the second. Faceoff comes back to the Dallas end, controlled by the Knights. Saad, what a pass and a shot, smothered by Jake Ottinger. Just over 9 to play here in the second. Vegas looking to get a response. Time on attack fairly even, 2.5 to 2:27 in favor of Dallas. Shots on goal are in favor of the Knights, 23 to 20. But still a 4-0 lead for Dallas, taking over in the second period. Robertson to the outside and Bork into the zone. Fires a shot in on Hart, who makes the save and stops play. Appreciate you, Charlie. Face off in the Knights end, controlled by the Stars. Labushkin outside, Robertson can't handle. Inside, Hintz, denied by Hart. Hintz now down low, circles back in. Off a skate, it goes into the slot, and Howden will escape the pack. Here come the Knights. Bolts with a bobble. And an offside is the result. 8:21 left in the second period. Vegas took games 1 and 2 of this Western Conference final back at home, struggling now here on the road. Mitch Marner into the zone for the Knights, sends it in, and Ottinger had to sprawl out to make that save, to the pleasure of the crowd here at American Airlines Center. Here's Heiskanen out skating. Works it in, loses the puck, and Dorofeev is right there on the doorstep. Here's Megna now. Megna centers, Marner outside hurdle, back to Megna. Dorofeev now top of the slot, goes off a body, and Lindell was there defensively. Bach will feed it in. Floats in back behind the Knights net. Duchesne pinned to the boards. Floats to the near side now. Marner gains control. Horshak feeds Dorofeev. Dorofeev brings it in wide, drops it off on the trailer. Hurdle can't handle, and Dallas gains control in the slot. Stars back the other way. Big hit outside, kicked down by Hart, and he freezes with 6:46 to go. Draw goes in just through the crease in front of Hart. Rantanen gains control and denied by Hart once more. And it comes back out to Barbashev, who will bring it out for the Knights. Looking for a spark. Here's Eichel. Didn't get it off. Goes to the far side and Mark Stone over skates. And Harley will bring it out for the Stars. Here's Matt Duchesne. Johnston now couldn't handle. Good defense by the Knights. Vegas works it in their own end. We've got 6 minutes to go here in the period. Barbashev feeds Hutton now. Walks it into the zone. Hutton poked on his way in. Johnston turns back. And here comes Dallas. Johnston brings it in wide, looking for the trailer, and they score! Thomas Harley right on the doorstep, and it's 5-0. Stars taking control with their 4th goal of the second period. It was knocked down out in front. Hart tried to deflect it away, and he gave Harley a free lane to just pound it in for the 5th goal of the night for the Dallas Stars, and Harley makes it 5-0 here in the second period. Wyatt Johnston moves to the team lead in points during the postseason as well, and Dallas is in control here at home. So the home teams have had all the momentum in this series. 2-0 series lead for the Knights with 2 home wins, and now on the road they look like a completely different team. Both of these teams do. Rupe Hintz into the zone, button hooks back. Turns it over to Howden. Now Howden cut off at the red line by Rupe Hintz. Bork back in, he gets clotheslined. Here's Labushkin, trying to feed it in down low. Hannafin with a good stick. Saad brings it up. Fires a shot, save, and the rebound into the crease. Ottinger finds the puck. Going back to what we mentioned about these two teams looking completely different than they did in games 1 and 2, the biggest thing I think for the Stars is that they have stayed out of the penalty box. There's been 2 penalties called in this game, both of them on the Golden Knights. Games 1 and 2, the penalty killed the Stars on the power play. Inside pass, good defense by Luzone, and Sissons will exit. Sissons inside to Reinhardt off a body. Luzone for the ricochet. Snuffed out by Ottinger, and the Stars control the rebound. Reinhardt back into the zone for the Knights. Drops it off for Kolesar. Circles back to the point, and Korshak can't keep it in. Korshak pestered on his way in. Keeps it alive on the outside. Luzone forked away by Ottinger. To the far half wall. Bach and Kolesar battle there. Comes out for Reinhardt. Whitecloud fires. Tipped out in front. Never got through. Reinhardt again. Score! Good action in the slot for the Golden Knights. And Cole Reinhardt gets another goal in this postseason. And the Knights are on the scoreboard. Just zipped that one right past the blocker side of Jake Ottinger. Didn't even get a piece of it. It might have gone off the shaft of the stick of Jake Ottinger actually and in. But either way, Vegas on the board quiets the crowd for a moment. Still a 5-1 lead for the Stars with 3 minutes to go in the period. Rakoian feeds it in deep, back behind the Vegas net. Mitch Marner pinned to the boards by Sam Steele. Out in front, a pickoff by Tomas Hertl. And here's Dorofeev. Inside Mitch Marner, working with Dorofeev. Poked off his stick, Sam Steele gains control. 2.5 to go, a turnover. Good poke, kept in at the line. Hertl downstairs, Dorofeev can't handle. And Lindell gains control. Feeds in deep, circles the boards to the far side. Rakoian knocked down by Whitecloud. Ernie keeps it alive. Works it in down low out in front. Rakoian can't handle. And it comes back out wide, and Mitch Marner is there. Dallas gains control in neutral ice. We're under 2 minutes to go in the period. Johnston feeds Harley. Bodies flying. Here's Robertson. Trying to cut inside. Hertl downstairs hit. Circles back. And denied by Hart. And there's the whistle. A power play upcoming. And it's another penalty on the Golden Knights. Tomas Hertl is going to get called for cross-checking. Third Vegas penalty. And the third power play of the night for Dallas. They're 0 for 2. And a chance to add on to their lead here. Already a 4-goal lead. And a chance to add on with the man advantage. Here's Johnston to Heiskanen. A shot off a body. Tipped in out in front. The rebound controlled by Vegas. And Jack Eichel will walk it up ahead and feed it in. Bork will start the break in for Dallas. Inside Robertson tried to load up, poked away. Robertson now fires off the blocker of Hart. Steele now down low to the point in Johnston. On the wing, it's Robertson. Inside to Steele with a bobble and a knock away by Hart. And Eichel gains control. We're under a minute left in the period. Stone will bring it out. Feed it in deep. Robertson takes ahead. Dallas will exit though with Heiskanen. 30 seconds to go in the period. Stone to the near side and Luzone who flips it ahead. First guy to it is Heiskanen. Johnston walks it up ahead. 12 seconds to go. Korshak takes it off his stick. Here's Kolesar. Tried to bring it up short-handed. Good defense by Dallas in transition. And the final seconds will wind down in the second period. Rantanen just walks it out. Dallas takes control in the second. It was 1-0 coming into the period, and it's 5-1 going out. It is the start of the third period here in Dallas. It has been all stars since the start of the second period, really. They scored 4 goals in the second to mount a 4-goal lead. It's 5-1. Power play continues that carried over from the second for 20 more seconds. Stone brings it up shorthanded, drops it off in a bobble into the slot. Goes off the blocker of Ottinger and out wide. Hintz kicks it out. Vegas will have to tag up. Here's Eichel. Takes a hit. Body's flying as it floats back out. Hintz. Picked off in center by Mark Stone. Back to full strength come the Knights. Need to mount a big comeback here in the third, and Ottinger gloves down that shot attempt by Barbashev. Jack Eichel's going to be one of those guys. If the Vegas Golden Knights are going to find a spark, he's going to be one of those guys. And there was a huge collision right there involving him. But Vegas won the first 2 games in the series, including a shutout win in Game 2. 5-0 was the score in Vegas. Different story here tonight. Tipped into the slot, controlled by Dallas, and they'll clear. Duchesne sends it in, deflected out wide. Hutton into the corner. Vegas works it in their own end. Barbashev takes a hit and can't get it out. Hanifin now feeds Mark Stone, who exits. Near side, Eichel brings it up ahead, pestered on his way in. Good defense by Dallas in transition. The lone goal in this game for Vegas came from Cole Reinhardt in the second. He has scored goals in the last 2 games as a big one-time shot denied. Mikko Rantanen let it fly. Hart makes the stop, and a stoppage with both teams even at shots on goal now at 30 apiece. Jake Ottinger has had an excellent game here tonight, giving up just the 1 goal to Cole Reinhardt in the second, but Ottinger has been holding his ground with 29 saves in this game on 30 shots on goal. Vegas wins the draw. They'll bring it up here with Mitch Marner. Dorofeev in the slot. That one might have hit the pipe. Comes out to the wing. Sam Steele gains control, and Rakoian sends it in deep. Hanifin tries to gain control back behind his own net. Pestered by Sam Steele. Hanifin gains control. We played just under 3 minutes here in the third. This one's smothered and saved by Jake Ottinger. Oscar Bach, been a good player in this game. He has a goal here tonight. He scored the second goal of this game for the Dallas Stars to start that scoring spree in the second period on this wraparound chance right here. He worked it in on Schmidt and sent it right between his legs. Faceoff goes to the Stars. Labushkin takes a hit along the boards. Lundqvist will exit. Lundqvist brings it up ahead, looking for a setup. Works it in down low, back behind the net, pestered by Mitch Marner. Lundqvist right through the blue paint. And it floats in back behind the Vegas net again. Mitch Marner is there. Back out to Dorofeev. Here come the Knights. Dorofeev works outside, and Ottinger can't find the puck, and it goes in back behind, and a one-timer off the glove. Dorofeev inside, smothered by Ottinger again, and a stoppage. Faceoff controlled in on net. Ottinger had to knock it down. Dallas gains control on their own side. Here's Robertson, who will exit. Pestered from behind by Howden, who circles back. Here's Saad, sends it in wide of the net. Lundqvist is there for the rebound. He's pinned to the boards. Howden, wraparound chance, goes through the paint. Out in front, Holtz. Back out to Luzone, who flips it ahead. Bork with the shot block. And Robertson will exit. Robertson Taken away in the slot by Korczak. Saad will exit here for the Knights. Still just over 15 minutes to go in the third as Ottinger finds the loose change. Heiskanen walks it up here for the Stars. Into the zone. Heiskanen centers and Robertson gloved down by Hart. Just over 5 gone by here in the third now and a 4-goal Dallas lead. Face-off control by Dallas. Heiskanen tipped in! Rupe hits with the redirect out in front, right between the wickets of Hart. And it's a 6-1 lead for the Dallas Stars. Beautiful redirect out in front and right between the legs of Hart, who couldn't shut the door. Six-1 in favor of Dallas now. Just over 5 minutes gone by. Ernie right back in. Here's a breakaway. Denied by Hart. Rakowian now pinned along the boards. Vegas gains control and they'll bring it out to center. Backtrack now into their own end and now up ahead to Colton Sissons. Sissons, a shot knocked down, the rebound. Good defense by Sam Steele. Ernie brings it in wide, centering pass. Rakowian over skates. Kolasar turns back. Turns on the Jets. Kolasar pestered to the outside. Sam Steele takes it away. Here's Rakowian who flips it ahead. Five-goal lead for Dallas once again. 6-1 our score. Here's Reinhart, who has the lone goal tonight for Vegas. Hannafin shot. Walked down out in front, and Petrovic is there for the Stars. Vegas turns back. Here's Jack Eichel. Cuts to the inside. Good stick by Petrovic. Johnston works his way in. Fires a shot off a body. Good defense out in front. Jack Eichel with the shot blocked. Errant pass by Dallas will go all the way back down for an icing call. 12:40 to go in the third. 6-1 Dallas now. Looking to get their first win of this series. They trail 2-0. Then the Tide turned back to their home ice, and it's a completely different game, it feels like, between these two teams. After a 5-0 win by Vegas in Game 2, you started to get worried if you're a Star fan. Here's Johnston off of the shoulder of Hart. Eichel gains control for Vegas. They'll exit the zone with Stone. Whitecloud now. Works it in, deflects in on Ottinger, who will just cover with 12:04 to go. Matt Duchene will walk it up here for Dallas. Under 12 to go in the period. This one tipped in on Hart, who had to knock it down. Battle for it along the far half wall. Vegas will escape. Here's the captain, Mark Stone. Stone brings it in wide. Centering pass, intercepted by Petrovic. And Dallas will bring it out. Mikko Rantanen and Duchene to the near side. Johnston, who was offside, so he couldn't touch it. Here's Whitecloud now. Cuts inside. Whitecloud goes off his stick. Petrovic is there defensively. Mikko Rantanen picked off Sissons inside, denied by Ottinger, and the rebound comes out wide. Sissons back out to the point. A one-timer off a body. To the near half wall, Dorofeev. Another one-timer off the blocker of Jake Ottinger. Sissons now to Dorofeev. Can't keep it in, and they exit the zone. Megna takes a hit at the red line. Dorofeev now bobbles on his way in. Trying to square his body. Taken off his stick by Johnston. Intercepted Howden. Turns it right back over to Rantanen. And Harley avoids a hit to bring it out through center as we're halfway through this third. Harley drops it off to no man's land. Hannafin is there for the Golden Knights. And here's Howden. Howden trying to cut inside. Another turnover for the Knights. Bach will bring it up and feed it in around the boards. Holtz is the first guy to it for the Golden Knights. 38 shots on goal for the Knights. 35 for Dallas, and yet a 6-1 lead for the Stars. Turnover. Barbashev can't handle. Blackwell will exit. Here's Bach. Poke to the far side. Keeps it alive. Bach works in. Denied by Hart. The rebound goes out wide. Bach back out to the point. Petrovic off a body. Rebound in the slot, controlled by Vegas. Here's Dorofeyev. Brings it in wide, taken off the right hash marks by Heiskanen. Here's Blackwell who feeds it up ahead. Circles around from Marner who overskates. Here's Robertson in, and right on the doorstep, score! A bouncing puck makes way to the back of the net, and it's Jason Robertson to make it 7-1 Dallas. Just leaked its way through. Hack and whack in the middle. Colin Blackwell was down there as well. Robertson gets credit for the goal. And Dallas dominating game 3. Just over 8 to play, and it's 7-1 Stars. And they're still getting outshot by the Golden Knights. Shot on goal, 39-38. What a game for Jake Ottinger. Dorofeyev. Hestered on his way in. Out in front, Korshak, gloved down by Ottinger. For the 40th shot on the game for the Knights, and it's still 7-1. 7:42 left in the third. That Robertson goal was his 4th of the postseason, right in the middle of the pack on the team here for Dallas. Faceoff sits on the dot. Marner works in. Good save by Ottinger. Korshak now. A bobble by Dorofeyev to the point. Luzon fires into the slot, a bobble, and it goes off a body and out. There's Roope Hintz who flips it ahead. Vegas gains control, just over 7 to play here in the third. Mitch Marner into the zone. Goes off a Dallas skate. Marner out in front, save. Rebound out in front. Marner again can't finish. Good poke by Ottinger. And Dallas gets it out again. Bork flips it up ahead again. Circles in back behind the Vegas net. Luzon will walk it up here for the Knights. Centering pass, a bobble. Dorofeyev can't handle. And now it sends in just wide of the net. Labushkin back on it here for Dallas. Roope Hintz feeds Bork out of the zone. Robertson now works in, taken away from behind by Dorofeyev. 6 minutes left here in the third. Dorofeyev outside Korshak, pulled down by Ottinger. 5:52 left, and a 6-goal Dallas lead. Faceoff sits on the dot, and it comes back out wide for Rakowian. Feeds it in around the boards once more. Ernie meets Hannafin there. Hutton now pinned back behind the net. Reinhart takes a shot, but he feeds Kolasar up ahead. Brings it in wide. Kolasar drops it off, picked off by Rakowian. Turnover. Kolasar inside, couldn't handle. Good stick by Lindell. Dallas's defense in this game has been absolutely outstanding. Just completely opposite of games 1 and 2 back in Vegas. And the biggest story, I believe, is that they have stayed out of the penalty box in this game as well. That was a big difference in the first 2 games of this series back in Vegas. Dallas could not stay out of the penalty box. The power play killed them, especially in game 1, where they went to the penalty box 8 times in that game. Saad brings it up wide for the Knights. Works in. And Ottinger poked it away before he could get a shot off. And here's Foxa. Up ahead for Dallas. Foxa brings it in left wing wide. Foxa circles back behind for Rakowian. Into the boards back behind. Foxa escapes. And the wraparound chance denied by Hart. With 3:49 left to go in the third. Faceoff goes back out to the Dallas point, taken away by Barbashev, and it's 2-on-1 back the other way. Up ahead, Stone tried to drop it off for Eichel, and Barbashev on the doorstep, stunned out by Ottinger. Wraparound chance now. Ottinger can't find the puck. It goes in back behind, and Dallas gains control in their own end. Rantanen feeds Duchesne, back to Rantanen across the red line. Johnston now fires a shot, saved by Hart. 40th shot of the game for Dallas, still up shooting are the Golden Knights, 45-40 in shots on goal, but it doesn't matter on the scoreboard. 7-1 our score, 3:02 left here in the third. Petrovic on the wing. Harley now holds it in at the blue line. Petrovic's shot, gloved down by Hart. 2:52 left. So Dallas is going to win game 3. In all likelihood here tonight, move the series to 2-1 and a chance to even the series at home again in a couple nights from now in game 4. Inside Johnston, loses control, kept in by Rantanen, blocked out of the zone and an offside. With 2:39 left. Faceoff sits on the dot in neutral ice, and there's a penalty. First of the game on Dallas. It doesn't really matter in terms of how this game's going to turn out, but Mikko Rantanen is going to get called for a cross-check and a power play upcoming here for the Knights. Put the shaft of his stick right into the chest of Barbashev. So Rantanen goes to the penalty box, not too happy about it. And this game, for most of the remaining time in regulation, will end on a man advantage here for the Knights. Face off in the Dallas end, controlled by the Knights. That shot goes off a body. Dorofeyev keeps it alive. Eichel now, gloved down by Ottinger, who's had a heck of a game tonight. 2:23 left in the third. 46 shots on goal for the Knights, and it's 7-1. Jake Ottinger has turned it on here in game 3. Dallas wins the draw on their own end, and they turn it over. Eichel can't keep it in, though. Offside is the call on Vegas, and the faceoff will come back out to center. Just over 2 minutes left. Lyubushkin will walk it up here for the Stars. Centering pass picked off by Eichel as they were trying to set up for a one-timer. Here's Hertl. Hertl brings it, centers Dorofeyev for the bobble, taken away by Lyubushkin, and he flips it out of the zone. Hertl right back in, again taken away by Lyubushkin. Colin Blackwell will send it in deep. Just over a minute left on the power play, just over 90 seconds to go in regulation. And a 7-1 Dallas lead. Big collision in neutral ice. Here comes Holtz into the zone. Fires a shot, blocked down by Ottinger. Harley gains control of the rebound. And it's kicked in back behind the Dallas net. Petrovic is there. Foxa now flips it up and out. And it goes all the way down back behind the Vegas net. Just over a minute to go in regulation. 30 seconds to go on the power play. Kolesar inside Reinhart with a bobble. And it comes to the near half wall. We're under a minute now in the game. Bach flips it up ahead again, wasting time. Sam Steele wins the race for the puck. Back out to the point and Heiskanen. Steele now. Up top, Heiskanen. Lundqvist now a shot, denied by Hart. And he stops play with 39 seconds to go in the game. 5 seconds to go on the Knights' power play. Face-off back out to Dallas's point. Heiskanen taken off his stick by Barbashev, who loses control in center. Heiskanen has the puck. 30 seconds and counting here in game 3. Hintz back out to the point. Heiskanen now down low for Hintz. Out in front, a save by Hart. And Sissons now into the corner. The final countdown is on here in Dallas. 16 seconds to go. Marner into the zone, Pester. And Hintz turns back here for Dallas. Flips it up ahead again as we're under 10 seconds to go now. The crowd counts it out. Howden walks it out, and the final seconds wind down. Dallas dominates game 3, and they get their first win here in the Western Conference Final and move the series to 2-1. A much-needed win for the Dallas Stars, and Jake Ottinger, in between the pipes, led the way in what was a 7-1 victory for the Stars here on their home ice. A huge win in game 3 for the Stars to keep the series alive. And it's 2-1 now in favor of the Golden Knights. Dallas gets another home game here in a couple nights from now in game 4 to try to even this series up at 2 games apiece. Dominating performance by Dallas. They turned it on in that second period where they scored 4 goals. And they didn't look back from there. 7-1. The final score here from American Airlines Center. Dallas gets the win, gets their first win of the series, and moves it to 2-1 in favor of the Knights as they look to gain momentum going into game 4. From American Airlines Center in Dallas, Texas, good night from game 3.